Travis Wayne Goodsell. I have some time tonight to record at least my main video, and we'll see if it can be posted today or if it will be tomorrow. I am still under cyber terroristic attack by the orders of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints through the Strengthening Church Members Committee, D. Todd Christofferson, who is the fixer for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, who ordered YouTube to commit crimes against me. And this particular crime, despite the normal, routine, everyday crimes that YouTube commits against me, this newest one is in a tampering with an app that I use in the development of my video content to post. So it's very clear that the church wants me silenced from the content that I produce because they're guilty. Because only innocent people commit crime. Not the guilty. They're never guilty of the crimes they commit. Yeah, it's real simple. I keep repeating the same information over and over again, and the church doesn't care. They don't give a damn. They're going to commit crimes against me until they assassinate me and completely, utterly destroy me. And so, yeah, I was hoping that Trump would have gotten my email, and then I found out tonight he's in the UK. Kash Patel, he had the opportunity to see my email to him yesterday, but in the congressional hearing today, he says that he's got thousands and thousands of replies for tips, and so I think that's just an excuse not to read them. As he threw himself under the bus, taking the responsibility away from Governor Cox. That was strange. He says he is the one responsible for the misdesignation of the evidence and can still go forward with the arrest as Tyler turned himself in. That Kash Patel is responsible for all of it. But Cox still is to blame for being the dumbass to accept it and present it to the whole world. I do notice that Tyler is getting special privileges because this is being covered worldwide. I didn't get these privileges in 2008, right, D. Todd Christofferson? So yeah, but you can see that he was stripped naked, just like I was. Whether or not he's been paraded in front of little teen girls like I was, I don't know. They will never tell you that part. But they're at least trying the best they can to cover up and hide their normal pattern of practice of treating people they arrest. Because they don't want to be exposed to the whole entire world. And so, yes, one of our local news, I think it was Fox 13, maybe even earlier, KUTV or KSL, one of them, wasn't ABC4. I did an explanation to the audience who knows very well that they don't publicly display the booking photos, the mug shots. But in this case, because the whole world is watching, yes, they did release it. As in other states and other situations, yeah, they have no problem releasing it to the public. It's Utah that covers up and hides their crimes. Wonder where they got that idea from. And so, he has been officially charged. I don't believe he has a lawyer yet either. And that was not the case that was also the case in my situation. But he gets special privileges to be released to attend the public shaming and humiliation, being naked. Think of House of Dragon. Oh, Mormons aren't allowed to watch that, even though it's not rated on HBO, because it's not porn, it's HBO. And do not type that into YouTube search. Don't do it, D. Todd Christofferson, even though now you have to. Is that my situation was, because I was stripped naked in the basement, that I was not allowed to go before a judge. I was not allowed an attorney, none of that. And that is the normal practice in Utah. And so they had that hearing for me without me. And then the guard handed me the little paper notifications that that's what I was being charged with. Oh, 3 counts of terroristic threat, you say? For a petition for redress of grievances? They're a weapon of mass destruction, you say? Yeah. So, the first charge for Tyler is aggravated murder. And so it's not just murder, it's aggravated because of a type of hate crime. And so the manner in which he murdered, as they are claiming, is a felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury. Try fatal. But that is based upon the law code. It's the Utah legislatures who botched that wording, as they also botched it. Your Honor, number 3 says the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is a government entity. Yeah, so? We got Dallin Oaks who was in the Utah Supreme Court. That's government for me. Okay, so let's start here. They're claiming that the firearm was one of 2 rifles. The first one that they claimed was a block. Come on, I know it's here. Bolt action. Oh my God. A bolt action. Cash Patel says he is responsible. For switching it to a Mauser. And so, as a defense counsel, oh, you're drooling. I am deeply concerned that no defense counsel of popular fame is immediately rushing into this. Because, this is something lawyers drool over for the errors that are going on here. Even I, who's not educated, not degreed, did not take the bar, let alone pass it, and am not licensed in law, and therefore am not hired by any law firm. And yet, because of my forced exposure to the courts, I know how to rip this to shreds. So, there's a scene of the crime. This is what they're talking about. That the scene of the crime involved Charlie Kirk getting shot with a firearm that took his life. And so, where was Charlie Kirk? Well, he's under a tent there in the center of the school. There was about 3,000 people in attendance. And so you need to know where the shot came from, because there were 2 previous persons arrested. The first one got rearrested today. The one from Toronto. Yeah, I noticed that Canada did not cover that in their news. We don't claim them anymore. You can have them. But he was saying, I'm the shooter. That he had a pistol or something, but he didn't have it, and then he tried to claim that, well, I just wanted the real shooter to get away. He took responsibility, turned himself in. I'm the shooter. I did it. Lock me up. I did it. Well, why was he not arrested for the shooting? Why was he let go in the beginning? Well, no weapon. And therefore, he could not have been the shooter. Real simple. Same with number 2, who we didn't really hear much about. Likewise, they had to let him go. He obviously was not the shooter. He couldn't have committed aggravated murder because neither of them had a firearm that caused the injury. Now, knowing that it's a firearm means that the medical professionals who were there trying to revive Charlie in vain, and then the medical doctors at the hospital who issued the official death statement, had determined that the cause of death was ammo from a firearm rather than a knife or a blunt instrument or some other kind of weapon. Are they still searching for somebody? Okay, so the coroner, whoever was the official doctor, said yes, it was a firearm. One shot. Did they do ballistics? I did not hear anything about a ballistics report. I did not hear anything about ammo. I haven't watched it in full. But kind of essential, because they're claiming a firearm did it. There were two designated as the weapon. Kind of important to know which one did it. And ballistics is how that is performed. So that the ammo recovered at the crime scene, whether it was stuck in his throat or whether it was through and through, and that they recovered the shell casing or the ammo, whatever it was, so that they can then do a ballistics thing. If you've seen the TV shows and the movies where the forensic investigator takes the potential weapon and puts the ammo for that particular weapon in and fires it in a controlled environment so that they can analyze the two to see if it's a match for the engravings on it. So kind of important. And so for them to initially come out and say it was a bolt action because they found a bolt action in the forest, and then to say, nope, now it's a Mauser. Pretty big difference. And that's also disturbing from what I heard. He was reading text messages. And in one of the text messages he was reading, he was talking about the rifle was given to him as a gift from his grandfather, and that he was hoping to get a $2,000 scope for it. So if it's the bolt action, yeah, that's an easy attachment. And he's reading this as a dumbass. Because the Mauser especially the particular one that they're claiming did not have the invention of a scope. And so any scope that is to be attached to a Mauser is required to be drilled in. You know, maybe he can do that, but and so whatever rifle is in the text, whether it's legitimate or whether it's faked, which again, as they're botching this so badly and keep changing the evidence, it may be a fake email or a fake text that they're doing to frame him. Like I said, a defense attorney would just have a field day ripping all this to shreds. So which of the three rifles are we referring to here? This should not even be going to court. The judge should be saying, what the hell is wrong with you? I am not allowing this to go forward. Find the actual shooter. So next, the rifles were both found in the forest. Okay, so that's the scene of the crime that he is telling us. The towel with blood, the screwdriver for the bolt action, was now found with DNA at the crime scene. That's what they said. Okay. So, at that position in the forest, does he have a clear line of sight to Charlie Kirk in the tent in the quad, we'll call it, with 3,000 people around, to do the kill shot? Ooh, what is the trajectory of the kill shot? So yeah, the magic bullet is getting more magical. There's no clear line of sight. The trajectory came from the Fugal building. And so they're wrongfully claiming that the scene of the crime is where the rifles are in the forest. And then they go and they talk about the videos that they obtained. They've got the one video of him going up the stairs to the roof of the LDS building. They've got another video from a distance from another building showing the person, because the video doesn't establish that it's him. Sunglasses, wrong shirt that he never wears, the wrong shoes that he never wears, that I covered in the previous video. The person believed to be the defendant is on these videos. And they're assuming they're all the same person. Then you have another video footage of a house camera, door camera, of two persons in different clothing walking toward the university. I did see one video clip today of him going the other direction this time. And then a fourth of one of the witnesses among the 3,000 who had his cell phone camera recording what appeared to be a person in all black on the roof of the LDS building. And so if we were to give them a little slack, okay, that is your shooter. And so there should be evidence of the rifle, and at least the going up the stairs video, or the roof video, or the street video. Maybe not the cell phone, but this is their claim. Remember the trajectory that is required for this. Came from the Fugal building. They found no evidence other than the person on the LDS building roof. None of the video footage shows that person with a rifle. None of it. There is no rifle in the video. At least Trump, when he bombs one of the boats off Venezuela, has an AI imagery of the people with the drugs before he bombs it. This whole case is about aggravated murder with a firearm. So where did the shot take place? Where was the rifle? And who was using the rifle? That's what this whole case is about. No rifle at the LEFTIE building. He may not be the shooter. He still could be the shooter, but from a different place. But the person on camera on the LEFTIE building is not the shooter. They're claiming Tyler is that guy. This is where technicalities screw up prosecutions. Okay? They have to connect Tyler with the weapon at the place where it was shot from to take out Charlie Kirk. Otherwise, they've got no case. It's not complicated. None of the press is reporting this correctly because they are not allowed to investigate. They only hear from that guy, hear from Cox, hear from Kash Patel at the Senate hearing, and they only report what they said. And they can't go any further. They're not allowed to. Our justice system is so screwed up. And so the press is therefore claiming that anybody else who confesses is lying. Because we have the suspect in custody. And this is what they are doing. They are stopping their investigation. They're stopping the additional planting of evidence. Because he, Tyler, turned himself in. And so all the rest of the stuff, obstruction of justice, which they're stretching on that one, I'm pretty sure. He turned himself in. That's not obstruction. I think that what they're trying to claim with obstruction of justice is that he's not cooperating. He's not confessing. Witness tampering. Again, not confessing. Not cooperating. Because he didn't tamper with anybody as witnesses unless they're trying to claim that he was trying to throw people off on Discord. Or his roommate who was turning him trans-liberal. And then the commission of a violent offense in the presence of a child. Those three are all conditional upon Tyler being the shooter on the roof of the LEFTIE building with one shot from that distance hitting Kirk in the correct trajectory with the correct ballistics. Because it could also be possible that there were multiple shooters there to shoot Charlie. But you have to have a rifle at each location in order to claim that. And so then, as a prosecutor, you then have to say, okay, well, we can only charge one for the aggravated murder. The other we can have for possession of a firearm with intent to murder, but only one gets the charge for the actual aggravated murder. And so you got to figure out the trajectory so that you figure out who done it. You know, old man, I did it. I did it. Where's your pistol? I hit it. And so, yeah, if he's claiming a pistol, they have to do a ballistics of the ammo recovered that took out Charlie Kirk, and then match it with the rifle or the pistol to see which one it belongs to. They didn't do any of that because he turned himself in. They got their guy, as they claim. And so he couldn't have done it. The person on the Luze building, whether it was Tyler or not, and apparently it's not, did not shoot Charlie Kirk. Case dismissed. He now gets to sue and recover damages for worldwide shaming, wrongful arrest, botching the prosecution, botching the investigation, allowing the real assassin to get away with it. That simple. All this other stuff, meaningless. You can't arrest somebody and in the course of investigating him as the criminal, find other stuff and go, oh yeah, you stole a car, I see. Oh, you robbed a bank. Oh, you did this and that. Because everything they've been collecting since then, if it's legitimate and not planted like the other stuff, are fruit of the poison tree. Because they botched their investigation. This is how humiliating this is for Utah prosecution and investigation that has gone worldwide. You can't include all of that stuff until you are sure 150 billion% that he is the actual shooter. Not because he turned himself in, not because you have video footage of a person without a rifle at a location that was not the location. This is where there's a cover-up going on that Kash Patel is taking responsibility for. That Cox likewise took over from the Orem police chief, that took over from UVU security. This was botched. Tyler is innocent, even if he's guilty, because he was on the Fugel building. But we don't know. They botched it. And so all this stuff about him confessing, or did he confess, he's witness tampering. Nope, invalid. Fruit of the poison tree. It was all obtained because of the wrongful prosecution, the wrongful investigation. And so all of it is inadmissible and can never be used. They have to figure out another way to obtain that information separate and distinct. And that's a difficult thing since they don't know how to investigate anyway. But there's no indication that he robbed a bank or stole a car. That's just hypothetical. So yeah, we're not, because, oh my God. Because if his is a bolt action, it's not the weapon that was used. The Mauser was the one that was used. They're claiming Kash Patel said, nope, it's Mauser. So yeah, this whole thing is screwed up bigly. So this really is quick for the new information here. So let me go over to see what else there is. Okay, that's covered. That's an ever-growing pile. Yeah. Okay. No. See, real quick. Only 36 minutes. I've got 5 hours more to go. All right, now we get to talk about some other stuff that was in the news. They also have now come out and claimed Kash Patel was wrong about the father. And I heard him in the Senate saying the father. The mother. Now the mother is the one. Oh, no, we meant the mother. The mother is the one who turned him in. Oh my hell. Wrong rifle, wrong ammo, DNA magically appears. And now the mother. So you do understand that the ammo having the trans-liberal messaging on it is what led them to the roommate who's a trans-liberal. That's the only reason why. And so all of that is now suspect of being tampered with as, yes, making a false accusation reveals the same and worse fault in yourself. They're claiming he witness tampered. Oops, nope, they did. All around the world. The Bible is so true. So true. Plagiarized in the Book of Mormon. 3rd Nephi. So true. So true. So yeah, we come back just for you. Okay. Yep, sure enough. Sure enough, and yeah, they're seeking the death penalty for the botched case. That's why I don't believe they will be taking him to trial. They can't. If he gets any defense attorney with any level of intelligence, which court-appointed lawyer, oh, he's out of luck. Ain't gonna happen. So, some other stuff in the news. So we're done. It's nice that I'm not being cyber terrorized on the freezing of the camera, even though it happened twice while I was doing the journal vlog on purpose to make sure that I can be freed from this cyber terrorism while I do this recording. So I'm so clever. So clever. So Steve Bannon. Yeah, he's in the news. Freed from prison. And he's back to his old tricks. I get to go into detail about him again because he has a direct tie to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And it goes all the way back to 2016. So, on the 14th, when Cox, that was Sunday, yeah, that was Sunday, skipping church to do the press tour to frame and blame Tyler, who's innocent because of the evidence It's not Tyler. Real simple test, and the prosecution of Utah failed. Or Kash Patel, if you want to believe him for taking credit. He was quoted in Forbes after Cox did his tour saying, "Spencer Cox is a national embarrassment. Try worldwide." In a time where we need action, he tells us to sing Kumbaya. Well, he's Mormon. We go on campouts and hiking things when we're boys, and you get the occasional, before we bailed from the Boy Scouts because the church didn't want to pay the damages that they themselves caused for the rapes. You get a certain scout leader who is less active, and the church wants to figure out ways to keep him in the church, hoping that eventually he'll resume paying his tithing, maybe attend church. Yeah, if they're a drama queen, they'll have the boys singing songs. I don't recall that. There was one scout leader who was teaching us to beat each other up with boxing gloves, but still. But most of the time it was athletic stuff. You know, hiking to the tops of mountains and sports. And it couldn't be basketball because I was on the basketball team. So they wanted to keep me active. I'm on the fringe. So they did volleyball. But, yeah, and then there's some other unique activities that took place that I won't go over. But, yeah, just a little information about Mormonism for you that Steve Bannon knows nothing of. And hold hands, yeah, no. With Antifa. Yep, Spencer Cox. Trans Antifa. Yes. Awesome. And that was the Dana Bash thing that he's referring to, apparently. Which, yes, I had fun with that one too. And that's why they're attacking me for making video content. But there was another clip that he did from his war room that apparently has been banned on YouTube. Or he doesn't bother with YouTube. I think he got banned. Nonetheless, his war room had a separate news video online that I caught. And in there, he is going off on what the hell is going on in Mormon Utah. What the hell is wrong with these Mormons? There are more pride flags in Salt Lake City than the whole nation combined. And so now we need to give you the background of Steve Bannon and what his real reason is for doing this. And I warn you, and you don't believe me. You're upset because I'm not faith promoting about the church. Vilifying Tyler. He's not one of us. He's an apostate. We don't own him. He's like Chad Daybell and Brian David Mitchell and Ted Bundy. So, before October conference, weird. Why are you behaving? In 2021, October, the news came out that the Southern Poverty Law Center had obtained the 2014 update of the Council for National Policy membership list. They are designated as a hate group. There are a bunch of people from different walks of life in this group, designated as a hate group. The person in charge of it, that began it in 1981 when Reagan took over as president, is the guy who did the Left Behind series. Evangelical Nazi. Where is Jesus, by the way? Oh, September 23rd, you say? September 23rd, huh? Yep, our pool is getting shut down by the 22nd. Closed for the season. Tell them, well, we're all going to be doomed. They're escalating this. They have to hurry. Because once the world finds out that they don't plan on prosecuting Tyler, there's going to be a violent outburst. And that's why Steve Bannon also is going to come into play here. His wife is going to take over the business and keep it going. And so she's going to make sure people remember her husband who was murdered. And if she is finding out that Tyler is not going to be prosecuted, and he's going to be mentally retarded for the rest of his life, like Brian David Mitchell, she will demand, like Hatch did, that he be tried. And then, oops, he's not the one. So, yeah. So the Council for National Policy is the secret combination in America to destroy it. They are responsible for everything that has caused damage and gone contrary to the rights in the Constitution of the United States of America. The Heritage Foundation, other groups are all in here. National Rifle Association is in there. Anybody remember Maria Butina? Yep. Hey, D. Todd Christofferson, you went to that prayer breakfast, didn't you? Yes, sticking it to the man. Mr. Fixer for Jesus. Bleep you. Cyber terrorizing me. Bleep you. And so, yes, the whole Reagan economics was this group. They told Reagan, we want you to do this economic policy for Trump this election. We want you to do Project 2025. Yep. This group. As they all have members that all did their roles throughout all these decades. So when it got released, I got a hold of it myself, just like the Epstein blacklist that everybody else doesn't have. I'm the only one who has it, I guess. That was so hilarious. The UK ambassador to the US And I knew it the whole time. And the one prime minister, the new prime minister, well, if I had known, I wouldn't have put him in the position. He doesn't have the blacklist, I guess. He should have consulted me. I have it. I could have checked his name to see if he's in it. Didn't do it. So, Steve Bannon's in this list. Steve Bannon came out in 2016, says he's a Leninist. He wants to burn everything to the ground. Daily beast. And so yes, this is what they're doing in this group. Destroying America. So this whole thing of Trump destroying the federal government, destroying the agencies, handing over authority to the states, and then every state being MAGA, deporting all of the lefties. That's all from Project 2025, from this group, the Council for National Policy. So knowing how to investigate, knowing that I've already investigated the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and just wasn't sure what happened with Jesus failing to show. Where is he? What happened? Creeping death came, but no Jesus. I don't recall Jesus showing up in the Exodus story. Yeah, either do I. Either do I. Jesus didn't show. Didn't show there either. Nonetheless, we would find out in November last year that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints was running a test run. That's why Jesus didn't show. That's why they're escalating things now to bring forth Jesus. He's here. It's Nelson. Nelson's been Jesus the whole time. You missed that video this morning, didn't you? Is it too long? Don't give me that. You watch other people's channels that have very long videos, and you even subscribe and you watch their new videos that come out. Me, you just clicked on it once and then you're gone. Don't give me that. Oh, your excuses. And so, yes, in the memorial of those who had died since their founding, I found W. Cleon Skousen, Mr. Naked Communist. The Naked Trans Communist. As well as the first through 7,000 years crap. He just plagiarized. You know, I saw my mom had that collection in the church history library that we had, and I started reading over it, and I'm going, he's plagiarizing Genesis. There's nothing new in here for me. At least Bruce R. McConkie gave me new stuff in Mormon doctrine. Ooh, fence sitters. Oh, polygamy is going to be started in the millennium. Ooh, that's in the coming day, boys and girls. They're now down to 11 years old for child brides, but only 10, not 72 like Islam. Sorry, Mormon boys. You get to be like the FLDS who get booted out of the church because, you know, you're being wicked by not having a wife. It's because daddy took her from you. Or is he grandpa? Or is he uncle? Or is he cousin? He's all of it. So yes, This is what I've been telling you about. The church is going to overthrow the government. Murder Trump. And so, Steve Bannon, you needed to be paying attention to all this time. Because Mark Skousen is the representative for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He is the one who tells the church what's going on in those meetings, for what they're planning, Project 2025, as he then gets counsel from Oaks specifically, and Christofferson, as to his recommendations for what the group should do, and thus ties everything to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Everything. Everything that historically happened, not just SCOTUS rulings, not just assassinations, attempts, all from this group. So, yep, when he's attacking Cox and then attacking Mormons, you need to understand it in that context. The group does not know that Skousen is a spy for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That he is giving the church a heads up, and why Cox all this year violated Trump's orders. And now with the Charlie Kirk assassination, as the church is getting sick and tired of waiting for Trump, who keeps tacoing out, who keeps hesitating, who keeps delaying the inevitable coming of Jesus. Yeah, this is why. And sure enough, the assassination worked. And there's Steve Bannon calling for war. There's Steve Miller calling for war. MAGA calling for war, Fox calling for war and murdering of the homeless. And escalating the deportations and firings of anybody who denies the narrative that Tyler did it and that he should be executed immediately. Yeah, and then I do the scriptures telling you about how this was all foreseen by prophets, and you don't believe them as a Mormon. No, they're not true prophets. True prophets don't predict the future. They just have the title. Bleep you. Bleep you for your wickedness. Bleep you. I do my videos for a reason, to save your lives. And you just want me dead, and that's only gonna make things worse. You don't get it. You just don't get it, because you don't want to accept the consequences for your actions. There are always consequences for your actions, and wicked people don't want to have the consequences. They don't like them when they happen. And yet they go out and commit crime again, just like a drunk. They go to the bar, they get themselves so wasted that they're barfing up a lung, they pass out, and they end up in another state with their clothes missing and organs missing. And then they go right back that weekend to the bar to do it all over again. That's a Mormon for you. Dear God. You know, it's one thing if you don't want to live in Zion. Fine. I'm not going to force you. But there are others of us who want to live in Zion. And this bondage of the church is preventing this from happening. They don't want me to live in Zion, because it means that they have to expose themselves as the great and abominable church of Lucifer, baby name meaning. And they don't like that. So, pop quiz at the end, for those of you who've been following, and most likely are still listening. The Takeout with Major Garrett on CBS News tonight did a reporting, sort of, not really. It's more of an advertisement for a psychologist, about how we can fix the assassination of Charlie Kirk and the growing calls for unity. So, it's called the Dignity Index. Can you figure out what's wrong? It was in the beginning of the video, I hope, because this is going to be posted tomorrow. And so on the left side, arrow pointing left to the red line, contempt. Then you've got purple, and then mauve, and orange, and yellow, and green yellow, and green, and blue green, and blue, and then arrow with dignity pointing to the blue line. MAGA libtards. I'm sure it was just a coincidence for the color scheme. Even though the Takeout both has blue and red, but it's reversed. So the take is contempt and out is dignity. That's red instead of blue. Nothing subliminal in this whatsoever. So what's wrong with it? Pop quiz for those of you who followed me. Should I give you a hint? Stanley Smith Stevens. There he is. He showed up after dying, I think, in 1971. His infamy lives on to this day on the Takeout with Major Garrett, CBS News 24/7. Headlines: Trump delays TikTok ban enforcement again ahead of expected China deal. Assassination of Charlie Kirk sparks growing calls for unity. Yeah, this is Major Garrett's attempt, whether he knows it or not, to socially control the masses that watch his show, using psychological manipulation, all the way back to Stanley Smith Stevens, who created this non-dichotomous categorization of human behavior. Social control. Social behavior control. That's why Tyler is in a special little cell naked. This is pure evil. And this will not solve the problem, as the person who is thinking he's a genius for coming up with it. No, he just gave it a new name. He may have added some extra blocks with colors, but it's the same thing, non-dichotomous. It's a spectrum of human behavior. It's all a fraud. It's a national security threat. That guy needs to be locked up. Get him, Major Garrett. Lock him up. Lock him up. They won't. Because nobody's listening to my channel. Thank you, D. Todd Christofferson, for wanting to murder everybody. So, yeah, Trump's not getting back tomorrow, so I don't know when he's getting back. God, it's delaying the inevitable.